Okay, wait. I should stop playing this before I get a copyright strike. Okay, and she's cursing. Hello. Good afternoon. Roshida coming to you from London. Let me know if you can hear me. You should be able to hear me. That should be working. The mic check. 1 2 1 2. Hey y'all. Okay, just like last week, I just got back in the house. Working from time zones that aren't my normal time zone are so hard. It's so hard. It's 4:00. It's a beautiful day outside. And I was like, I need to go. We just we hustled hard from the train station, left this really, really nice mall to make it back in time to see you guys. So, hey, everybody. Today we're talking career breaks. Today we're talking about you taking a year off because so many people say they want it, but they don't put plans in action. And so we're going to put plans in action. We're going to talk about what's getting in your way today. I want to say hi to you guys in the comments. I saw my birthday twin, Martisha. Hey, girl. Hey. We both had birthdays last Thursday. I don't know what day it is. So not this Thursday, but this past, but the Thursday before. Hey, girl. Happy birthday. Monica Adelina is coming to us. Okay, so funny thing. Monica Adelina is from the town I'm from, and I think Adelina is her middle name. It's almost exactly my middle name. We're meant to be soulmates. Francis Benjamin is here. Sarah Wright, Janice. Hey, girl. I got to respond to you. I thought about that the other day, but I'd already taken an Ambien, so I was like, let me not message her after my sleepy time drugs because it's going to sound crazy. So I know I need to respond to you. Red Blonde Chick. Hey, girl. Hey. Yapa Judah. Kinsey. Hey, Kinsey. Go, Sean. I hear somebody walking in the background of my set. Try to duck like we can't see her. She's going to sit right here. I have a guest. Oh, cabinet. Let me go close that cabinet because it's going to irritate me. Okay, so we just got back from the mall, like I was saying. That's better. Freshed over here. The British were out in full effect because there is a sports ball thing happening, and they were very excited and screaming about it on the train. Like screaming, top of their lungs, screaming on the train. Hey, cousin. My cousin Hazel's here. Hey. I need to come see you. This time. It's been years. Good morning, Wendy. For anyone who doesn't know, I am in London for another 2 days. I leave on Tuesday. Part of my plan for coming back to London now was, since I was here in April, was to see some friends I didn't get a chance to see the first time. But really all it's been is kind of like either resting or running errands. Like yesterday I got a hard drive I needed to get. Today, the 2 foundations. Why? I can see it, but you guys probably can't see that it's 2 different stuff. Any hoodle. Guess what time it is? It's wine time. It is 4:04 here, which means it's 5 o'clock somewhere. All right. Hey, Teresa. Yes, Kat, I don't know what the team they're cheering. People are yelling so loudly that you can't decipher what they're saying. I was sitting next to a British man who was talking to a woman about sports ball. I'm pretty sure the same sport, the same ball. And after the first chant, he was like, I don't know what they're saying. You're a fan of this sport in this country, and these people are hollering at a pitch that does not allow you to understand what they're saying, it's just noise. They're just making mouth music very poorly. Whatever than that, lovely day. The wine is from Portugal. We brought it with us because every step along the way we've had alcohol in our suitcases. Because someone will give us a bottle of wine or something, and then we're not drinking it in time before we get to the next place. Not because we're going to the store and always buying alcohol. Okay, Wendy has her notebook ready. So let's start with the live. Girl, they yelling. I think it was Chelsea, but I don't know. They're wearing blue jerseys. Who's the blue jersey people? Hey, Winfred, thanks for a compliment on my hair. I washed it this morning, and so it's still, you can see some parts of it are still white. They haven't, when they completely dry, they'll be gray. They'll be black, but they're a little white when they're wet. Who's the blue people? Blue and white. They're all wearing blue and white stuff. I saw two men walking down the street dressed like, let's say umpires, but that's not it. Dressed like referees, like black and white striped shirts, but one had blue shorts. And I'm like, you supposed to go dressed like you work here or not? I don't know. Marcella says it is Chelsea. Loud. They were yelling, we're going to Madrid. But like something, scream, and then it ended with we're going to Madrid. The airport's the other way, buddy. Like I don't know what's happening. I don't. How Kat lived in London for 2 years and ignored all things football. Okay. Hey Delia. Hey Colette. Okay. NewbieNet says 8 more days until I'm in Portugal. Yay! Provided I get my passport the same day, supposedly it'll be okay. Okay, NewbieNet. I don't know where you're doing it, but when I went to get my same day passport in San Francisco, they were like, unless your flight is today, you're not getting your passport today. Which I was like, no, because they say when I go, I get it. They're like, no, you get it in 2 days. You get it in 2 days. You can't. Quiet on the set. You can't be in the back talking or the microphone will hear you. Do you want to go into my room where I get the Wi-Fi? Or do you want to be? You know when there's like that time where like your parents become your children? We're real. We're pressed up against those ears. Pressed. We might be deep into them. I don't know. But mommy's working. Can you take the screen and go into the other room? Because mommy has to work. She has to talk to her work friends. She's not moving. That didn't work. I thought it might work. It didn't work. Ooh, Auntie Lou says on Tuesday she's going to her passport admissions appointment. I'm excited. NewbieNet, yes, her appointment is on the 5th at 7:30. Her flight is at 7:20. You getting your passport the same day, baby. I get it. You got this. Congrats. Love it. All right, who's taking a career break? Raise your hand. Tell me in the comments if you have already taken a career break. And how long was it? So like, let's back up a second. What is a career break, right? So I kind of still feel like I'm on a career break. Was it the door closing? Probably because I haven't done any real work in 2 months. But I think a lot of things, like we talk about retirement and we talk about like, especially early retirement, and we talk about career breaks and these things. And often people have really rigid models of what qualifies and what doesn't. And a lot of times those, what qualifies and what doesn't is based on the limitations they place on their own life. Like, it's not logic. There's no like one definition that everyone sticks to. It's very much, this does or does not qualify in my individual mind. because this is what I think it would be for me, or why I don't think I could ever claim that title. Like, people will say things like, I don't want to retire early. A lie. I don't want to retire early because I wouldn't have enough to do. So retirement for them in their mind means like they put you out to pasture. Is that what they do with old cows or old horses? Old horses, I'm guessing. Maybe old race horses. Is that what they do? Or glue factory. I don't know. I'm trying to make an animal little analogy there, but I don't have it. But yeah, I don't want to retire early. Hey, I'm bored. Career break. What would you do? If you have the whole world in the palm of your hands and you're worried you would get bored, you're probably boring. You heard it here. You're probably a boring person. I hate to be the one to say it. If you can't think of anything you would do on a career break or retirement, you're probably, and that turns you into a hater, right? It's not like, I don't know what, like, there's a difference between like, I don't know what I would do, and I would never do that because my life wouldn't be fulfilling. Work fulfill your life? Okay. Let's talk about this. Amber Renee says her mom is busier now in retirement than when she was working. She does all her passion projects. My mom or my child. I don't know. We were in the store today and she was like, buy this for me. Who are you? She started putting stuff in my basket. In Sephora. Not in Walgreens, right? Or their equivalent of Boots or whatever it is here. She was putting stuff in my basket in Sephora. What did she do? Anyway, the point was she's busier than ever because she's got to go to Kenya. When she goes to Kenya, she's flying through France. She spent a couple days in Paris and this and that. The Rotary Club, this and that, and woo and woo and woo. And she already talked about next year in Cape Town. I don't know who. Just busy. Just busy. You don't have to be busy for early retirement. You don't have to be busy. You can do nothing, or you can be like Amber's mom or my little baby over here, just busy for no reason. All right, let me hit these comments, see what y'all talking about. Femi wanted to take a break since 2021, but I keep talking myself out of it. This live is for you. Yes. Okay, so Femi, what do you say to yourself when you talk yourself out of it? What is the roadblock you throw up for yourself, or the thing that you think is an impediment? Because we're going to talk about why it's not. Because Saturday is a year since Frances started her break. I worked with Frances after the first summit, 2020. Frances has been on a break. Frances put her daughter in school and was like, this is my time now. It's my time. Right? Like, you graduated, you in college, you out my house. It's my time. She's been in the streets. Frances has been in the streets. Having a good old time. Making friends, meeting people, spending time with family. Marcella took a break for 6 years in the UAE. I'd be interested to see what that would be like, 6 years in the UAE. Because most people I know who are there are working or are there with a family member who's working. So they're on a break. It's interesting. Okay. Okay, Wendy's going to rip the Band-Aid off and go. We're doing this, Wendy. You and Femi. Okay, so does early retirement count as a career break if I'm doing other work that generates money? Count to whom? Who counting? Right? Like who Who gonna check you, boo? D, who gonna like call? My theory about life is call it what you want to call it. You put words to it, right? Don't let somebody else say what it is. You put words to it. What is it for you? Is it a career break? Is it early retirement? Is it I wake up in the morning and trade and then go to the beach? No, you're not going to the beach. You're one of them city girls. You and then you go to the main square. I don't know what you go to the agave field, baby. I don't know what there's to do in your town. I don't. I'm so sorry. I need to come visit y'all out there. I don't know. But like, what is it? I have after Marrakesh, I've had a meeting with Stephanie twice. So in the past 6 weeks, I've done a solid 2 hours of work, and then we did a live Friday for an hour. So that's 3. And then after Marrakesh, whenever Stephanie and I were together, we spent about a week together a little less than a week together after the event. Whenever we're together, we're kind of like brainstorming and always working. And then also like we had like one real meeting, but we're kind of like always in like Exodus mode because we don't get to spend a lot of time together. So like that time, does that work? Like, is someone going to put me in a box and say, no, you're not on a career break or you're not retired because you worked maybe 5 solid hours in 6 weeks? I don't care, right? Like, I don't know. This is just my time. This is just my life right now. I don't know what I'm calling it, but I did after my summit, I did a coaching session. So make that 7 hours. I've done 7 hours of work in the past 6 weeks. Who's going to tell me I'm not on a break? Who's going to tell me I'm not retired? And for why? And why? Also, why? Are you a tax man? Why are you in my business? Why? You know what I mean? Like, call it what you want to call it. Someone's going to argue with you, but they're arguing with you from their limitations. They're arguing with you because they cannot imagine it for themselves. They're arguing with you because they're haters or they're jealous or both. And right? Like, that's not your business. Call it whatever you want. Whatever you want. Marcel seems to do some work as I needed a visa. I still did some work as I needed a visa when you were in the UAE, I think. Okay, I get it. Them visas is not easy. Do what you got to do. Janice said, I wasn't sure what I would do on a break or early retirement. And then she joined the family and was like, yes, it's for me. There are some things that are not for me, Janice, but this is for me. It's for me, right? Anita, Miss Global Granny. I'm newly retired. I'm not doing nothing but bopping around in different countries. Travel's my new drug. Loving it. I'm hooked. Anita, I love that for you. I mean, you're a bit of a troublemaker. Everybody knows. But I love that for you. Do whatever you want. Call it whatever you want. I'm calling these the best years of my life. The best. But it's only going to get better, right? I expect every year from now on to be the best year of my life. Every year. Every year. Glass half full is coming off a 7-month career break. Now setting myself up to retire early because once you stop working, it's very hard to start again. It's very, very hard to start again. Like what? You want me to do what? Like last week I was on a beach. Like you want me to do what? Excel? No, baby. No. After 6 months into my break, probably 3 months into my break, I was like, I know I can't go back to work. I can't go back to the process of working. And 6 months into it, I didn't know how I was going to feed myself after my break. But I know that this simple idea of arguing with someone who did not have the expertise I have to convince them that no matter what they saw on Matlock or Law and Order, I am the subject matter expert in the room. And so when it comes to the law, we're going to go with my opinion not your guessing game, right? Like, we don't go with what I say it is. Like, a lot of my job was just fighting with people about the fact that I get to say what something is. And just the idea of going, and that maybe that's not what it, maybe that is what it is for you, like proving yourself over and over again. Maybe it's something else. But when you take that time off, it's really hard to go back, to know about those hard parts of your job and know you'd have to go back to it. I spent all those years and all that money in school, and every single day there's some man who don't even wash his own ass arguing with me because he don't like the way the law sounds, so it must be wrong. That's not how I interpret it. Baby, who asked you? Who? You don't get to. I read the law. Did you? Did you trace it with your finger? All the words on the page? Shut up. Anywho, every time I go back there, I get real. It's in my trauma. The body keeps score, right? Like, that trauma is there. Why are we arguing about? I can't go back to trying to convince men I don't respect that I know what I'm talking about because they don't respect me. Won't do it. It's really, really hard to go back, especially if there are no hard parts and you're like, I love this job. It might not be hard, but if there are parts where you're like, I had to look in that lady's face every day. I had to listen to her cut her nails over her keyboard every Monday, right? Like, you're going to be like, I can't do that again. You know. Alicia's mom is retirement goals, committees, workouts, book clubs, and travel, all the things. All the things. Don't y'all want that for yourself? Look at our good friend Colette. An early retirement in summer 21. Napped and snacked for an entire year. Baby, that's my love language. Naps and snacks? Welcome. Come over. Let's nap on the couch together. I got 2 little sides. You have one side, I have the other side. We eat snack. It's a love language. Naps and snacks. Took a new job in December 2022. Remember why I retired. Yes, girl. We'll be permanently out in summer 2023. Yes. You can do this. You can do this. All right. Let me see what else I'll talk about. Downtime. People ask me what do I do every day, and I'm like, I wake up from laying in the bed, and then I go lay on the couch. And then after that, I see where the day takes me. Right? Like, I rest. I live a restful life. A word from Locating Cozy. Been on a break. Now on a new 3 to 6 month non-management contract that pays 20% more than my former management job. And she's not in America, so she ain't paying crazy. I think I can say this publicly. But you're not in America, because we've talked about this before on lives. She's not paying crazy health insurance, right? Which is a lot of times how we get stuck in jobs, because the system of employment has been so rigged for so long that our ability to stay healthy is tied to the job we have. Our ability to get care is tied to us staying employed, because they know employment is trickery, and without it, we'd be out. If they didn't tie us to it with these levers, we wouldn't show up to work every day. Why are you talking to me crazy? I know the boss talks to you crazy. Why are you here? For most of us, it's not the paycheck. For a lot of us, it's not the paycheck. It is the stability, right? The health insurance and everything. But like, you know another way to make money. You know another way to make money. You do. All right. Here's the thing. My imagination for my life is never as vivid as when I'm traveling, right? When I was in London last time in April, it was miserable, but I was still like, I think I want a second. I want a home on another continent, I think I do. And then a month later, I'm in Portugal, and I was like, I found the home. I felt right. And when I'm in Mexico, I didn't think about this. But like being out in the world and seeing new things has me like, did you turn it off so it won't make any more noise? I really just, did you take care of that? Yeah. I got distracted because somebody's over here. She knows I hate when phones make noise. When my phone makes noise, I'm like, how could you betray me like that? How could you betray? Why are you doing that? And usually like I accidentally press the button, whatever. She over here, her phone making noise. While I'm working? Do I need to call the nanny and have them come get you? Okay. Yes. Endless beach parties, Grand Prix. Yes. Let your, like, when you're at work every day, your imagination is not thinking Grand Prix. It's just not. You're thinking like, when can I get these groceries? When? Because our lives are not conducive to joy when you're showing up to fulfill someone else's mission every day. Right? For a lot of us, a good percentage of people in the world, your job at the core is making rich people richer. While you're busy making rich people richer, you're not thinking about the Grand Prix. You're not thinking about the beach parties, right? Unless you're an orca. And baby, I have to say, I'm so proud of them. As someone who wants to be on my good friend's yacht, I don't want no trouble with these killer whales. But as someone who's tired of excessively wealthy people, the hoarders of capital, right? Who have created the system that is so hard to escape from, which is why we have to have these conversations. I'm proud of them killer whales. You find Bezos and you boop his boat, right? Them Zaslav, is that the Disney guy? Boop his boat over too. Them Hollywood producers who got the writers on strike, we gonna lose our shows again. If you were around for the last writer strike, you know what happened. We lost all our good shows. Isn't that how we lost Girlfriends? Some other shows? Boop their boats right over. Pay your writers. Pay your staff. Pay them well. And for you, being on break allows your imagination to soar. It allows you to think about possibilities that you wouldn't otherwise think of. And I want that for you. So we're going to get into how to get there. One of you friendly people commented the other day that my intro was so long, but they couldn't remember why they clicked on the video. And I was like, you ain't got to do that. You ain't never got to tell me that. Because the intro always going to be long. The intro is always going to be long. And so if your attention span is on the short side, this ain't for you. Or like go read the video title real quick, right? Intro always gonna be long. You're gonna forget. But it doesn't matter. Just rock with me. Just rock with me. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Oh, I forgot to tell you who I am all this time. Probably. This is someone who refuses to be on my channel. Roshida in the background, making hooting and hollering. Hooting and hollering in the background, but refusing to be on camera. Oh, she's gonna be in some vlogs. Y'all gonna see her. Hooting and hollering. Anyhow, hi, I'm Roshida Dowe. I'm a career break coach. I'm one of the co-founders of Exodus Summit. I help women take career breaks. She's laughing. I run a program called From Burnout to Bliss that you can get at fromburnouttobliss.co. And a bunch of women in the comments who are sharing their success stories have been in that program too. And it is a community. It is a coaching program, a group coaching program with a community and a curriculum that will get you out the door. From burnouttobliss.co. If I was a true G, I would have a link to it somewhere. But clearly I don't. I got Krishan's list. Oh. It's probably from like 2 years ago, but that link still works. It says move abroad because we talk about moving abroad and taking career breaks in the program. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. All right. Back to the comments. Let's talk about it. My biggest roadblock was that I have a good job that pays well and doesn't stress me out that much. Now I've spent my sabbatical money and need to make a new plan. Okay. If you have a good job, because, you know, quotes, all them jobs are terrible to a certain extent, right? If you got to go in, if I got to get out the bed, for me, that's terrible. All right. If you have a good job that pays you well and doesn't stress you out that much, although at all is too much, do you need a new plan, or do you need, or can you sit with that job and just save more aggressively? Right? Because when most people talk about plans for something like this, they talk about like, oh, side hustling or creating a business or doing something that like helps accelerate their savings. But like doing a lot in order to rest isn't always what I recommend for you, right? Sometimes it is. Sometimes I'm like, if this job gonna kill you, give them the least, pay them dust, build your business on the side, right? And then when your business has legs, leave that job behind. But if they're not stressing you out and they're paying you enough that the money's come flowing in, is it time to create a savings/investment plan that gets you to your sabbatical money in a reasonable time without like adding too much to your list? I would also say for all of us, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but did y'all do the math? Did y'all do the math to know how much sabbatical money you need? Some of y'all didn't do the math. Who did the math? Who didn't do the math? Who did it? Who didn't do it? Who didn't do it? Who did do it? Tell me. Did you do the math about how much money you need for your dream to come true? If your dream is a career break, how much money is it? Femi, do you know how much money you need for your sabbatical dream to come true? Oh, yeah. Go ahead and hit the like button. Do, 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 do. I don't know what sound that was. Wine. It was the sound of wine. Okay. All right. Y'all in the comments. Hey, Shauna. We love a free Black woman. A free Black woman is why I show up, why I'm here and not at the mall, right? Because I want y'all to be free. So what we gonna do? How we gonna do this together? What we gonna do? Get free, whatever that means to you. For Monica Adelina, she's house sitting. She hung out with us in Cancun last year. A handful. She's a handful. A fun handful. All right. Martisha says, my year is 2028 once the kids are in middle school. Girl, you said 2028, and I was like, oh, math, that's so far away. Them kids can't raise themselves? No, I shouldn't say that. That's not funny. Why? Why is middle school the like point? Why not now? Take them to Columbia and put them in school there. They'll be fine. KB moved up my sabbatical from 2025 to 2024. I'm headed to Mexico this summer to finish part 2 of securing my temporary residency visa. Yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Got this. I have a whole list of things I want to talk to you about, and I'm just reading the comments, which y'all can read yourselves. Even with health insurance for so many out-of-pocket costs. This ain't covered, that ain't covered. You didn't knock twice on the ceiling before you went to see your doctor. So this ain't please. Cursing out their bosses and walking out if it wasn't for benefits. I get it. Okay, Simi's looking for a job now, not going back to Canada. I feel you. I'm going to Canada twice this year. Oh my God. Y'all know I go to Canada at least once a year. I've been going to Canada I've been going to Vancouver at least once a year since my best friend moved there when we were 18. So this will be the 26th year of me going to Canada at least once a year every year. Going to Vancouver specifically. Sidebar. We always spend Thanksgiving together, but for the past, since her kids were born, we've always spent Thanksgiving together. We've been rotating the locations, except for like in COVID, because they're a family of 4. It's one of me. It's much easier for me to get there. She told me the other day that because of her kids' schooling, they can't take there won't be any more years where they can take a year off for Thanksgiving. And I was like, am I hearing this correctly? Yes. I want to say terrible things about her children, but I love them so much. Like, I don't like a lot of kids. I love those kids. They love me. But I have to go to dank, freezing, I don't have enough coats for it, Vancouver Island every Thanksgiving until they're out of high school. And one of them is 11. Or we have to give up our tradition of spending every Thanksgiving together. Like, could we do a different Thanksgiving? It's always American Thanksgiving. She wanted her kids, since she grew up in America, she wanted her kids to have like an American Thanksgiving. And so I am their American Thanksgiving present. And I bring Thanksgiving. I don't see them for Christmas, and you all know I don't mail gifts, mail anything. So I bring Thanksgiving presents every year. So it's kind of our thing. Why is y'all? This is such a sidebar, but like, your kids are getting in the way of my good time. I have to spend every last week of November. For those of you who have never been to Vancouver, the first time I went to Vancouver, my bestie told me it's like Bay Area weather. She's a liar. She's a liar. She's a terrible, awful, lying, terrible. It's not. I got there was snow on the ground. It don't snow on the bay. It does. What I said? What are you talking? She said, "Oh, don't worry. It's just like." And this is like 97. So we didn't have all the ways to look up all the things. I mean, I probably could have found it. I didn't. I trusted her when she said it's just like Bay Area weather. There's snow on the ground. Every year when I go, it's the rest of the year. They live on the water, pretty much on the water. She's looking at whales. She's looking at whales from her window in the spring. In Thanksgiving, when I'm supposed to be there We're looking at snow and nasty and can't see over, can't do anything because there's nothing to do, right? Because it's cold, everyone's inside. It's not like we can go for nice walks or, and then she wants to walk too. I need to let me focus up on what we're doing here and let the spirit of this major irritation pass. She always want to go for a walk. I have a break for an hour. You want to go for a walk? It's 2 degrees outside. Now that 2 degrees might be Celsius, but that's still not enough. That's not it, champ. I mean, what is she talking about? Why? Let's go for a walk. You want to walk the kids to school? No, I want to be in bed under these covers. Me and your husband go be in front of this fire when you get back. Okay, bye. Right? Like, you want me to walk the kids to school? Your man is making me breakfast. I shall not walk the kids to school. Good luck, God bless. We have a car, we can't drive it. No, they like to walk. I like heat. Anyhow, I'm so sorry. We haven't talked about this. It hit me. Every once in a while, I don't think it's real. And then I realize every Thanksgiving for like the next 7 years, I have to go to Vancouver. I sleep so well. I sleep so well there. They have this little like in-law suite. I sleep it's the best sleep I get all year long because like I feel like wrapped up in a cocoon of love. It's just, but then the outside is so terrible. Just terrible. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. A hard no, Colette. Working abroad when you don't even love the job? Unless they want to pay you more money, right? Like I could be on the beach. What y'all gonna pay me to not be on the beach? Also, a reminder that working from other time zones, other locations is not easy. It's not like people glamorize nomad life. My group coaching this month is supposed to be today. It's supposed to be today. Well, actually tomorrow at 1 a.m. because it's normally Sundays at 8 p.m. and we're 5 hours ahead. So either I have to do group coaching at 1 a.m. on a Monday morning, or I have to reschedule. And I was like, I won't be giving you any advice. Like my group coaching on what would happen from bed, and I would not be coherent. So let's not do that. Let me move this around because it's just not easy to work in a different time zone. I'm sorry? It's the one? She's saying pass. I'm at work, and this woman talking about pass the wine. Toddler. It's like a toddler she wants her apple juice. She need her sippy cup. Teresa, we need to get you at that job. We need to get you at that job. What we gonna do? We don't let them. We can get you at that job. This is why we can't get ahead as the people. I got haters on my right, haters on my left. Look at this. This is why we can't get ahead. Where is the support? About my trying. Adelia posted something today about Europeans on our Instagram. Big Euro Travels. I think that's what it is. Yeah. About your Americans in Europe with all this luggage. And I'm like, you ain't got to sub-post. You ain't got to sub-tweet me. You ain't got to sub-post. I know what you're saying. No, that's very, people were like, you have to sub-tweet me or whatever. You're going to talk about me. I'm like, it's a very narcissistic way of thinking. I know she wasn't talking about me, but I also know she knows. Wait until I get back to post that. Because I am struggling right now with all these suitcases. Yes, I was dragging suitcases over cobblestones. Please give me a minute. I've realized now I cannot share the Porto Airbnb with y'all because y'all gonna tell that man what I said. But when we got there, our Airbnb was up like a steep, skinny flight of stairs. We have 6 suitcases. He was like, "Don't worry, I got them all." He said, "Go upstairs, sit down. I'm gonna bring them all up." A man. But yeah, the rest of the time we're just dragging him around. The ramble is the joy, right? Y'all need some sidebars every once in a while. A little segue. Y'all need that. I need it, and so you're here with me. You don't wanna ramble. This ain't the place, especially with the juicy juice. Mm. Mm-mm. All right. Okay, so I see Shauna saying she ain't do the math about her dream. Goshan says she did the math. Who else has done the math to know how much it would cost for them to live their dream? Jay Dore did the math. Y'all in trouble if you didn't do your homework. I told you didn't have to do the homework while we were live, but you had to do the homework. Because if you don't know what your dream costs, how will you ever know if you have enough money to live your dream? If you're not doing the math, you don't really want it. You're bullshitting. If you don't know how much it costs to live your dream, you're bullshitting. And that's okay. Because you get to do whatever you want. If you're not doing the math, you're bullshitting now. How will you ever know if you're ready? If the money is the thing, how will you ever know if you're ready if you haven't done the math? You're just guessing. You're always going to guess higher. You're always going to guess in a way that blocks that blessing. It's just human nature. It's our monkey minds telling us these things are impossible. So we put a number on it that's impossible. Stephanie's career break cost her $1,400 a month. Mine cost about $3,000, but I was very poorly planned. So for a year, I spent around 36. Now that's not nothing, but if you had asked me before what it would cost, I would have told you like 60,000. It don't cost no 60,000. It don't. It doesn't. Well, when I was a lawyer, if you would ask me how much it would cost to live a lifestyle that I like, to maintain my lifestyle and be happy, I would have said easily like $250,000. It don't cost $250,000 to maintain my lifestyle. It doesn't. I just didn't do the math, right? Because math is like makes it real. Math makes it real. Make it real, y'all. Make it real. After school with Dr. Crystal needs $2,000 a month. Tracy did the math. After school with Dr. Crystal needs $2,000 per month, but she has $2,100 per month. I don't know if that $2,000 is on top of the $2,100 or if $2,100 means you've hit your number and we celebrate. I don't know. I'm celebrating either way because you did the math and you have knowledge you didn't have a few weeks ago. Stephanie White did the math. Amber Danae started doing the math and thinking about the plan. But why'd you stop? Oh, wine's getting to her. Downsizing to be free in 2024. I love it. Okay. Monique Michelle, I'm on a sabbatical yet. Isn't a relaxed one. Maybe because it's not a career break, but I'm still freelancing, finding paid gigs, etc. So I'm gonna make a guess here. Monique, I could be so wrong about this. I'm willing to be wrong about this, but I'm going to tell you what I see in my life and in other people's lives. There are times in our lives where we have the opportunity for a day at a time, a couple hours, to find peace, to be happy, to revel in joy, to feel, to rest, to be at our best. But we're always thinking about everything. We're thinking about the bad thing, right? And the bad thing might be, I still need to get some work. And so how am I, if I don't get a job, I need to find a gig. And I see this from women who have money in the current moment, right? But they're not worried about the current moment. They got money for tomorrow. They got money for a month from now, but they worried about 2 months from now. They worried about 6 months. How can I take a break if I'm going to be out of money in a year? Take the break. The year gonna come either way, right? The year gonna come either way. Like take at least a 3-month break of not worrying. This is not for you, Monique, but for those women, take a 3-month break from worrying and then start looking for a job in 3 months or 6 months, right? Or 9 months if you have a year's worth of money. But like, if your every day is preoccupied with worry about the future, there's no space for you to relax. And so, Monique, my question for you would be, is there space for you to relax? Are you giving yourself an opportunity to say, that's a tomorrow problem? Baby, I love a tomorrow problem. Adelia will tell you. I tell her, she'll ask me a question. I'm like, that's a tomorrow issue. I don't. Today, I'm eating snacks. Tomorrow, I'll worry about that. Or the next day, or the next day, or the next day, but not today, right? Are you giving yourself today's that feel, when you have today situated, right? You know where you're sleeping tonight. You got the money you need for today. You got the money you need for tomorrow. Are you allowing that to be a restful day and a relaxed day? Or are you worried about a week from today, a month from today, 6 months from today? Because if that's the worry, that never ends. There's no getting yourself out of that until you get used to saying that's a tomorrow problem, in my experience. Somebody's therapist will help better than me, right? Who in here is a social worker? Got some thoughts on this. But for me, truly, until I got used to saying that's a tomorrow problem, everything was a today problem. Whether I took care of it or not, in the moment, it was still something that weighed on my mind, so prevented me from enjoying the moment. Is it tomorrow? That's a tomorrow problem. Change things for me. Because yes, I know that's an issue, but today's for snacks. Today's for naps. Tomorrow is for figuring out how I'm going to get from Portugal to London. No, I don't have a ticket, but I'm gonna watch Drag Race and figure it out tomorrow, right? And not just in a procrastination way, but maybe I do procrastinate. I'm a procrastinator, but not just in that way, but also in the way that, like, if you're worried and not taking action about the thing today, if you're not making progress on the thing today and you're just living in worry, there's no space for that joy. There's no space for that rest. And so, Monique, I would say to you, are there things in your life today that you can say, that's a tomorrow problem too? You can look at it and be like, that's a tomorrow problem. Today I rest. Today I look out the window and watch people ride bikes. There's a dog park across the street, and these dogs just out here running, having a good old time. Hey, cute. Sean Jones left the office a year and a half ago, cannot go back. No. For why? For what? Mm-mm. Okay, 2025, after my daughter finishes their undergrad, finishing my MPED, I think, or just your MP, I don't know, and hopes to be able to do some telemedicine, wondering which place to allow me to practice. Maybe I'll start a U.S. territory. Research. It's time to hit that research. Vancouver Island is truly one of the widest places I've ever been in my life. Like maybe tied with Switzerland, maybe wider than Switzerland. We count the Black people while I'm there. Like literally, we'll just look at each other at one point and be like, 4. And she'd be like, did you see the guy? Did Did you see the guy in the grocery store? I'm like, yes. And that's part of my 4. If we say a number, we always know what the other one's talking about. It's the number of Black people we have seen since I got to town. It's never more than 10. And I'm usually there for a week or two. And I don't see 2 hands of Black people. I might see 1 hand. I'm not seeing 10 hands of Black people. Woo. And the island itself ain't that beautiful. It's cold. They do soccer in the winter. And because those kids love me, they always want me to be at a game outside in the cold. Last time it was raining. Everybody was under an umbrella in the rain watching a game. Voluntarily? I'm not that kind of aunt. I love you. I love you from inside. The last game when I was there, I told them that I love you from inside. I'll be in the house. I hope it goes well. I love y'all from inside. Mm-mm. 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 Yes. If you're thinking about moving abroad, if you're thinking about taking your work with you abroad, are you okay over there? If you're thinking about taking your baby needs some attention, I think. If you're thinking about taking your work abroad, or you're thinking about moving abroad and you still have to have meetings and stuff, she's crawling on the floor now because she doesn't want y'all to see her. She's like army crawling on the floor. Woo! Okay. It's really hard to work in other time zones, which is why there's nothing I can do back there. But yes, know what you have to do before you start traveling and hitting time zones, because it's not easy. All right, Lisa said they laid off half her team and made her pick up the other half of the work. Child. And it's when it's not even like, let's talk about it. It's when it's like, this is what you're going to do. You paid me to do X, not X plus Y. At one of my jobs, my boss left. And so we were missing one level of management. And my boss's boss was now our boss. And then someone else on the team left. And he met with everybody else on the team. And then he came to me and he was like, I'm coming to you last because you're going to pick up 90% of the person who left's work. I was going to pick up 90% of Ken's work. So he came to me last. And I was like, oh, you're going to have to run it back. You're going to have to make your way back through all those people you just talked to, because I am absolutely not. You, because we were a team of 6. So you went through, one person had left, 2 people had left. So we're down to 4 people now. You went to 3 people and divided up 10% of work between them, and then came to me and was like, Roshida, you going to do 90% of that work? No. You're going to have to fiddle faddle a little bit more, because I won't be doing that. Somebody's having a breakdown behind me. How you gonna come? You just telling me I'm gonna do this other? At least with Lisa's job, y'all laid off people and now I got to do more work. That's not how that works. If you laid them off, it's because you don't need them to do the work. No, I didn't tell you to lay them off and give me their job. Right? I didn't say lay them off and then double my workload, because they're not paying you. Don't do that. Just tacky. Lisa, I fully support you never going in again. I mean, not financially. I don't financially support that. But make a way, baby. Make a way. Mm-mm. Bernice, what is standing between you and an e-design business? What is the thing? What is the thing that's between you and an e-design business? Because it's probably not as hard as you think. I know a ton of interior designers who are doing stuff online. You got this. Okay, KB did the math. Anita did the math. Francine S. sort of did the math. This is why I do the work, y'all. This right here. I did the math and I'm retiring August 1st. Baby, do the math. Do the math. I'm going to see Shauna again. I'm going to catch her in these streets and I'm going to clobber her. Shauna, you heard me. Y'all heard it here first. I'm going to clobber Shauna for talking about she knows she doesn't have enough money without doing the math. Do the math. Do the math on how much money you have. Do the math on how much money you need and see what the gap is. Because y'all just be making stuff up. You're making stuff harder for yourself. And I don't say that as someone who has thought about this for 15 minutes. I say this as someone who's been helping women with this for years. Y'all are making this harder on yourself by not doing the math. You're discouraging yourself by not doing the math because the gap feels much larger than it is. And if the gap is enormous because you've told yourself you need $20 million before you retire. I see this all the time in fire groups. I am 35 with $20 million saved. Is that enough to retire? Or would I be making a mistake? If you don't get on my face with this BS, if you don't go, please, the rest of us are just trying to live regular lives, right? Like, what is this? Right? But if you don't think that's enough, what is the number? I will say all the time, like for the people who are like, is 20 million enough? What is the number that would be enough? Because if you haven't done the math, even if you kind of think you have a number in your head without doing the math, when you get to that number, most people will convince themselves that that number isn't enough and the number needs to be bigger and the number needs to be bigger and the number needs to be, every time they hit that number, it needs to be bigger. It needs to be bigger. It needs to be bigger. Because you're not mathing. Math makes it real. I'm a clobber Shauna when I see her. If you hear that Shauna got clobbered in the streets, she got a little bink bink, boop, boop, you know what happened. Okay, Halisi and Rick's fire really helped. Y'all, I was on here last week saying nice things about Rick. Can y'all imagine how terrible that was? How much I hurt my soul? Saying nice things about a man on this channel? But he's lovely. So yes, check out their program. I don't have a link to it, but check out their program. Math, 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 math. Okay, that's the math dance. Okay, so J-Dor, what I want to say to you is I was trying to quote Ramit Sethi from I Will Teach You How to Be Rich, but I don't exactly remember the quote. And I might be thinking of the exact opposite thing that he says. I could be getting it backwards. But what I want you to think about when you think about selling your house and your furniture and all that stuff is how much of what you're considering is an emotional thing and how much of it is a money thing, right? Because if you're like, I have loved this house my whole life and I can't imagine parting with it, then the numbers don't matter. Do they? Right? But if you're like, this is a house and I'd like some money to go drink pina coladas from a Cabana Boy's belly button, sell the house, right? Like, who is I to judge? Think about when you sit there with the problem, is it I don't know what to do or I can't imagine party? Is it an emotional thing? Figure that out for yourself. It'll help. It will always help to know, like, is this purely I look at the numbers and the numbers make sense, so boom, or is it I look at the numbers but my heart is in it too. So I need to figure out some heart math as well. When I was going through my storage of Fidelia, a lot of it was just heart math. Like, this has absolutely no value, but I've loved it my whole life. I can't get rid of it. I got rid of a couple blankets. Someone's in this room. Plug your ears. I got rid of a couple blankets that we had. I've like a blanket that my fake godmother made for me when I was a toddler. So I've had it for over 40 years, but it just couldn't fit in my storage. And also, a Disney blanket doesn't really fit in my house right now. I don't have kids to pass it down to, whatever. I got rid of a blanket that had been in the family since we lived in England in the 70s. But like, it did not fit in the suitcase. I can't. It doesn't fit in the suitcase. And so, like, is it a valuable blanket? I hope we gave it to the mission. I hope the people who have it now are warmed by it and feel the love that was in it. I told someone that I had to give it up, and she was very upset. But some of it is just emotion, and you've got to figure out, especially if it's a past emotion, a past feeling, like if it's a history, right? Is the history worth giving up your present? That history of the blanket wasn't worth an extra $400 between the price of shipping, buying another suitcase and shipping another suitcase. It just wasn't worth $400 to me, and the time. And the fact that our car was already overloaded with suitcases. And I did not have the time to do that. It just wasn't worth it, right? Now, someone's going to disagree because it would have been worth $400 to her, but she wasn't there, so she didn't get to make that decision. Okay, Amber said, about the point she hadn't considered. I have a whole list of things to talk to y'all about, and we haven't gotten there yet. It's been a minute. It's been an hour. I just been in the comments. All right, let me get to my list. Woo! Yes, Femi, I'm very happy. This is my happy dance. It looks very much like you're going to quit your job dance. Okay, let's get through the list, though. Can you take a year off? Is the title. All right, first question is, do you want to? Some of y'all here, but you don't really want a year off. You might want a month off. You might want 2 weeks off. A year off might be scary. Or a year off might not be part of your plan. Some of you, it's... Okay, so they're dirt bikes. The first one rode down the street on one wheel. Popped a little wheelie. And the second one was on 2 wheels. Okay, Philly. All right, so do you want a break? You don't have to want a break. Not everybody does. Some people are like, I am completely enamored with my job and I want to be here forever. You're probably not watching this channel. You're probably not an hour into this video because, baby, it takes a commitment. This is a community. But if you do want it, okay, why do you want it? Why do you want it, or what do you want to get from it? What do you want to get from your break? Tell us. While you're thinking about what you want, drop it in the comments. What do you want to get from your break? I'm waiting. While we're doing this, look at Auntie Lou's comments. I thought I couldn't afford to move abroad on my limited income until I did the math. Not only can I move, but I will have enough left to pay down my credit cards faster. This is why we do this. This is why we do this. It is. It is. This is why we do this. Do them. Do the math. Do the math. Do the math. Tamara said she can live on 60 for a month. You're probably in the US living on 60. You probably live on US 60 in the US. Overseas, depending on where you go, you can probably live on 30. That's probably 2 years of money. Can I tell them your rent?
Yeah.
My mom rents a 3-bedroom house. Excuse me. A 4-bedroom house in Merida with a pool. What else? Pool.
5-car garage.
A 5-car garage. She don't drive. A 4-bedroom house, pool, 5-car garage. Utilities are not included?
No, that is included.
Okay. For $750 a month.
25.
725 $725 a month. Let's do the math on that. And she loves her neighborhood. She's not hood adjacent, nothing. $8,700 for rent for a year. You can live on less than 60, depending on where you go. Like, that's not my rent. But you can, if y'all want it, it's yours. Last week I told you guys, if you want something, tell the person who has it that you want it and make them tell you no. The universe has it. Tell the universe. Make the universe tell you no. Tell the universe, I want to move abroad for $25,000 a year. That is. I am sure I can bring in 50. I want to move abroad for 25. Every year I work, I want to make 2 years of living expenses. Y'all, every year I work now, if I wasn't paying rent in 2 places right now, like the Airbnb and my home, I would be making like 3 or 4 years of living expenses. Every year that I work. You can do this too. You just gotta make choices. Don't be like Shauna, do the math. All right. Dr. Crystal wants a year off. I feel you. Okay. Charles wants freedom. Wendy wants rest, ease, and to see the world. Bylenia wants inspiration. Okay. So I actually want to talk about what Yvonne said. Yvonne wants a full year of doing nothing. So I can finish this novel without doing jack shit else. Not an article, not an editing gig, nada. But writing a novel isn't nothing. And I'm not saying this directly to her. I'm saying this to all of us because I see this in many places. Sometimes when we love a thing, we don't count it as work. But if you're a writer, writing is work. Yvonne's a writer, right? One of our from Brown to Bliss professor extraordinaires is like, I'm going to do nothing, but I'm going to go to Germany and do all this research. And I'm like, baby, that's work. If you're going to go do, she's like, but I love research. I'm like, still, like, you can love it. But if you are a professional researcher, when you're on your break, doing research isn't nothing, right? So like, do you want Yvonne, do you want a full year of doing nothing? Or do you want a year where you can write your novel with no other distractions, right? Because I don't think, not that saying, I do think that saying that your novel, a full year of nothing while you're writing a novel diminishes the writing process. for you, not for other people, right? Like you're going to be focused and doing work and maybe loving it, but still like it's work. Research is work. The things we like to do are still work. If you're not sleeping, there's probably a little bit of work going on, right? Respect it. And not that you're not respecting it, but like know that like nothing is like when I did my year of it's a lot of dirt bikes and no dirt in sight. When I did my full year of nothing, I really just slept and went to museums and moved from city to city. Went on some dates. Right? Like, all right, Kat, we're going to talk about how to do the math later. Let's see. Ooh, Abba's bees are doing great. Didn't she, though? She corrected me like, it's not a 3-bedroom, honey. It's a 4. Why she got a 5-car garage and not a car in sight? I've never seen this house in person. Ooh. Rick and Lacey together live on less than $32 a year. Together. It's probably less than you think. Now, Aileen, I'm not one to tell you to leave your husband behind. I absolutely am. That was a lie. I absolutely am one to tell you to leave your husband behind. But if you got 12, it's you got to put your own oxygen mask on first, baby. Put your own oxygen mask on first. If you want to come, we'll find 8. I told a client this the other day. They were stressed about money. Their husband wasn't on board with going abroad. And then he finally got on board, right? Finally got on board. And then she's like, well, how are we going to find the money? And I'm like, he is rushing you. He's telling you to pack your bag. Why haven't we left yet? Let's sell the house. Let's do the things. That man who was the anchor is now the engine. Let him be the engine and worry about the money. Why are you in my face talking about, I think I need to get a second job. I think I need to start a business. For why? He was the anchor slowing you down, and now he's the engine moving it forward. Let him figure out the money. Let him come to you with a money plan. I need to get a job. I need to start a business. No, you don't. No, you're no longer the engine. You were the engine before. You're no longer the engine. He overtook you and said, we're doing this no matter what. Let him figure it out. If you need 12, get 12. Let him come up with 8. If he comes up with 12, take his 12 and make him come up with another 8. Baby, oxygen mask first. Let's do this. Yvonne said nothing else besides. Yes, nothing else besides writing your novel. I love that. Aileen wants a year off to explore different countries, cities, out of normal places. Yes. I love it. Our Black Utopia says 2 people can live on $32,000 because they have no cars, no expensive health bills. You can do it. Now, I'm not saying you have to leave the man of a job, but if either one of them is an anchor and not an engine, what would Sheeta say? What would Sheeta do? Okay, Coach Donna Marie's reason is to write my novel series. All right. So, baby, you only need $12,000. if he's not coming with an open heart, open mind, a helpful hand, and 10,000 to support himself, blessings. Many couples say, you be there, I'll be there. Let's love each other from afar. Aileen, I believe in you. All right, let's see. Yes, y'all. Okay, that's the thing. Like, people will do the math and be like, this can't be right. Your brain is like, no, that means it's possible. I don't want it to be possible. I've been telling myself it's not possible this whole time. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Engines only, y'all. No anchors. Engines only. All right. Do you want it? Why do you want it? How will you find the money? How will you find the money? Right? So first off, you need to know how much money you need. Second, if you want a year of rest, right? If you want a year of rest, making the money ahead of time and not during your year of rest is really important. Now, like I said, I have about 9 months of rest a year. I work really hard for 3 months of a year for Exodus Summit. And then this April, I worked really hard for the Marrakesh meetup and before. I won't be doing that again, though. I'm going back to my 3 months of really hard work and outsourcing the meetups because no, baby, no. And I can do this it's a repeatable process I can do every year. But my first year, I was like, the money just keeps going away and there's no money coming in. I don't understand this. Excuse me, Bank of America, how come I spend the money and there's no replacement? I'm used to replacement money. Where's the replacement money? There's no replacement. It's confusing, y'all. The money goes out, but it doesn't come back in. That is a struggle that most of my clients, when I don't have a lot of male clients, but when I do have male clients, that's the biggest struggle. They'd be like, wait, I need to be the breadwinner of my family. And even though, literally, like, even though I have enough money saved that we don't have to work for like 5 years, a world where I don't have money coming in, I can't live like that. And I'm like, do you tell me you're so stressed you feel like you're about to have a heart attack? Like you're going to die like that, right? Like, what are we doing? If you're so stressed that you feel like today might be your last day on this planet, perhaps money coming in shouldn't be your only worry. I mean, I'm not telling you to quit today. I'm telling you to quit tomorrow. Like, what? So think about how much money you actually need coming in and whether the fear of money not coming, because a lot of us have it. It's normal. It's okay. The fear of not having money coming in is rational based on the amount of money you have and your expenses. Right? Dr. Diane Thompson. Hey, girl. I took 9 months off and gained clarity. I learned that I value flexibility and freedom. I'm returning to a new part-time position that will make almost as much as my prior full-time position. Someone said this earlier. They left management and went to a contract non-management position and they're making 20% more. Almost as much part-time as she was full-time. Y'all see that? It's possible. It's possible. Right? It's possible if you're looking for it. If you're telling yourself it can't happen. I see this all the time. People write comments and like in the YouTubes, they write comments like, well, that'll never happen for me. Okay. Okay. If you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. If it's never gonna happen for you, it's never gonna happen for you. All right. Like, what do you want me to? I can tell you it's possible, but if you don't think it's possible, it's never gonna happen. Who gonna? We recently dropped a video on Exodus Summit on our YouTube channel. I'm trying to do a thing and my thing isn't working. Boop, 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 boop. I want to get to the Exodus Summit YouTube channel. I do all this little flippity flopping on the account. I'm not logged in there. Okay. We talked to Danielle. Share. Let me copy the link. See if I can share that here. Ooh, can I spell and be cute at the same time? All right. So we had a chat with Danielle about doubling her income. Danielle, after Exodus Summit, got hit up by a recruiter. I think that's how it happened. Got hit up by a recruiter and was like, normally recruiters reach out to me, I don't take them seriously, but after talking to Teen Zekas from Getting Black Women Paid, who was a speaker at last year's Exodus Summit, which was all about finding the money to move abroad or take a career break. Hello. After doing that, she took the recruiter seriously. She did some of the things Teen said, and her salary doubled, and she's not working more. Before she told herself, these recruiters, I'm not gonna talk to these recruiters. They're not about nothing. It's a lot of vroom outside on this 1-lane street. Anywho, before she was like, it's not really real. And so it wasn't real. And the minute she was like, okay, let me see what they're talking about, she doubled. The minute she said, let me see what they're talking about, the first offer where she was like, the Exodus Summit lady said, I should do a thing. So let me do this thing. She doubled her salary. Some people are like, oh, that can happen for me. I'm like, okay. Okay. Because if you can't even believe in yourself, what can I do for you? If you can't even say, I see it in my future, how can I see it in your future? I don't know. I just feel like I need to go back here again. 9 months off and gain clarity. Part-time position, making almost as much as a full-time position. I want this for all of you. All of you. Yes, rewatch some Exodus Summit videos. If you have a business hobby, turn that into a business. Speaking of, the Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge is coming up. I know that some of you guys already signed up for it. We have a few spots left. I don't have a number because I don't take care of that kind of thing. The Get Your Next 3 Clients Challenge is for people who get their clients online for consulting, for coaching, for interior decorators who want to find their clients online. It's not for people who sell products. It's people who sell mostly services of some type. And one of the things we do, this is a challenge run by Stephanie and I for women who are in our Exodus Summit community. So you can find the link. I don't share the link publicly on YouTube. We only share it within the Exodus Summit group to make sure that it is a safe space. It's the same safe space as Exodus Summit is. One of the things we do there is we talk about our business and how it's structured, and we make sure that we're not running a hobby. My first 6 months of Sheeters on the Loose was a hobby. Where was the money? And not just where was the money, but like, what was I actually doing to get the money to come in? I was doing free coaching. So where was the money gonna come? A hobby, right? If you want, if you'd like more money, if you want more money and you have not a hobby, because you're allowed to have hobbies. I want you to have hobbies that you enjoy. But if you have a business as a hobby, let's talk about getting you paid, right? Let's figure out what we have to do to get you paid. Let's get you clients, because hobbies are knitting if you don't like to sell your things. Like Adelia sews, but she won't sew for other people. That's a hobby. A hobby I take personally, because why won't you sew for me? Why can't I get that cute shirt that you made for yourself? I got to steal it from you, from your closet, when you're not looking to get it? You can't just make me another one? That's a true hobby, right? Like, she won't do that for money. But if there's something you want to do for money and you're not making money, come to Death Row Records, right? Like, come through. Halisi says, I take the challenge last February. We now have 25,000 subscribers and folks come to us for help. Come. We know what we're talking about. We show you our proven methods to make money consistently in your business. And the way I can tell you they're proven is, a lot of you are our customers. You buy our things. And the reason you buy our things is because our method works, right? And it's not like trickery. It's not like, oh, we conned you into buying it. Because none of you, I'm sure that none of you watching here feel conned into buying things, right? But we have methods where we talk about how to promote your business, how to promote your services in a way that connects to your audience, in a way that lets people know who you are, what you do, and that you do it for money. Because that's where a lot of y'all fall short. I'm going to tell y'all right now. A lot of y'all are like, I do this thing, isn't it fun? But you're not telling people that for some pesos, for some dirhams, for some euros, for some pounds, you'll do it for them too. Speaking of which, remember last week, I was like, if my mom asked me to book another ticket, I'm going to charge her $500. Immediately after the video, she was like, why are you talking bad about me online? But I need you to book me another ticket. Why would you? Immediately after the video, why are you saying those negative things about me online? But could you book my ticket from some? If you need someone to buy your own tickets, you sound a lot like a toddler. A lot like a toddler. If you can't do the clickety clacks on your own, you sounding a lot like someone who needs supervision and shouldn't be traveling on your own. If you can't buy your ticket on your own, and it's not the money, she don't want to do the work of finding the ticket. If you can't find your own ticket, should you be traveling unsupervised? You need a survey for that. Tell me, okay, but y'all be taking her side. Never mind, don't tell me, because I know y'all gonna come in here and take her side. Y'all all plot against me and get on her team. She wrong. Ramble. All right. Let's see. Okay, so Bernice, it has to happen for me. I missed Exit Summit last year. I need to get clients. I'm not sure how to do it online. Bernice, are you part of the Exodus Summit Facebook group? We can be found at exodussummit.com/community. Let me see if I have that link somewhere, because I shan't be typing right now and writing. You would think, because I do this all the time, I would have it. Give me a second. Let me get that for y'all. Oh, it's the first thing that popped up. It's like I think my computer heard me. Okay. Join. And we hit 10,000 women in our Facebook group weeks ago, but we celebrated Friday. our Facebook community, and you can get the link to join the challenge in there. If you're not on Facebook, you don't have to be on Facebook, but being on Facebook helps during the challenge. So if you have to create a private account or burner account, whatever you have to do, it does help during the challenge. We communicate in Facebook during the challenge. But if you're not on Facebook right now, you can get info from our mailing list, which I know I have a thing from. I think I have a thing from. I don't. This is going to be a guess. Yes. Nope. No, stop it. Okay, join our newsletter to get our emails. Also, if you're interested in going to Cape Town next year, you should be in our newsletter. Hint, 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 hint. I feel like y'all don't know. Y'all, when I say I'll block you, I feel like y'all don't respect it. Y'all don't respect it. Nina, speak to her. I'm being managed. I don't work, and I don't work for free. $500 to book your next flight. Yeah, don't forget to like the video if you haven't liked it yet. Okay, if you want to be in our newsletter, but you're not on Facebook, I'll drop a link right now. Get on our newsletter. I'm being managed. Who asked for this? Who? Whomst? Dr. Crystal. Beloveds, this is not about Dr. Crystal. This is about all of y'all, including me. I'm talking to myself. I am talking to myself. Let's stop signing up for courses and not doing stuff with the info, right? Let's stop taking programs as hobbies. Sometimes we get in there and it's like, oh, this is a lot. This is a lot. What am I got to actually do work now. Like, I felt like when I signed up, it would just, that was the step. For this challenge, for the Get Your Next 3 Clients challenge, the step isn't signing up. The step is doing the work, and the work takes time. She's over there hooting and hollering for. What are you hooting and hollering for over there? She cheers. Oh, okay. So being in, how am I logged out of Facebook on the same? Being in the UK means every time you visit a site, or being in Europe means every time you visit a site, every single time. It's like, you gonna allow these cookies? You want some cookies? You don't want no cookies? Cookies yes, cookies reject, cookies accept, every single site. And I'm just like, do whichever, just leave me be. Leave me be. Leave me be. All right. What mom discount? That's the upcharge. That's the upcharge. They don't discount. I do think I'm the CEO of my own life and my time. And then 3 times a week, 3 times a day, she reminds me I am not. No. Yeah, I say no to the cookies, but it feels like another effort. I'm not used to it. It just feels like I just want to go to the site. I always say, when I get the question, I always say no to the cookies, but I'm like, I was just on Facebook on Friday. I'm pretty sure I was just on earlier today. Why am I logged out now and you're asking me about cookies again? Because I didn't do any. Anyway, I was coming here because I was going to share the link in the group to sign up for, let's see if it's under featured. It is not. Where would next 3 clients? Truly, this challenge, you see the fruits of the client of the challenge when we are trying to sell tickets to the summit. Because surprisingly, tickets don't just sell themselves. I mean, for a lot of y'all are like, I'll be there, right? But for like new people, tickets don't just sell themselves. So we have to do the work. Okay, this is a link to the thingy that should only be accessible if you're already in the group. That should be how it works. But it's a direct link to the info to sign up. Abba wants a snack now. I'm always approving a snack. Hey, y'all, I talked to Krishan this week. It's been so long since we talked to each other face-to-face. I think maybe last fall was the last time Krishan and I talked face-to-face. We talked Tuesday. It was so nice. My online friends. So that's another thing I want to talk about when we talk about businesses is a lot of people think that like there's no space for you. Krishan and I do a lot of the same thing. And we sat down this week and shared ideas with each other because we're friends, right? Because we know there's room enough for all of us. There's room enough for us all to eat. So don't think that your business idea isn't going to work because someone else is doing it, right? Like a lot of people who come to me want to move to Mexico because I live in Mexico. A lot of people who come to Krishan want to move to Portugal. Even if we talk about, like Adelia and I talk about the same place because we live in the same place. And we're always showing love for each other's businesses because there's more of enough room. Because some of y'all are like, I love Adelia and I can't stand Roshida. You're never going to be my client, right? That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Right? That's okay. There's enough room for all of us. All of us. We can all eat. All right. We talk about making money before the time off, because when you're making money during the time off, it's going to feel like work, unless you create a life where your work isn't every day, right? Like if you have to work every day, it's not going to feel like. If you have to work every day for like a significant amount of time, people who wake up and trade for an hour and don't do anything again for the rest of the day and aren't thinking about trading for the rest of the day might feel like life is a one long break, right? I don't know that feeling because I don't do that work, right? But that might be how that feels. But if you have to work, if you're working some version of a 20 to 40 hour week, 20 to whatever hour week, it's going to feel like work. If you're working more than 10 hours a week, it's going to feel like work. It's not going to feel like a break. Maybe I'd even say like 25 hours a week. It's going to feel like work. So since it's going to feel like work, how much work can you do before your break starts so that your business is secure, it has a steady foundation, you have money coming in before you go on a break, and you can create a business where you work when you want to, and you create a schedule that works for you. When I first started, when I first turned this from a hobby to a business, I couldn't say I'm going to turn off my Calendly, my booking calendar for 3 months, because it was the only way. One-on-ones were the only way I was making money. So if I was going to turn off my booking calendar for 3 months, how was I not going to make enough money to pay my rent for those 3 months, right? Like, how was I going to make that popcorn money and that pretzel money in those 3 months? I don't know. I couldn't turn it off. Now that I've been doing this for a while, I can turn off my calendar for a few months because I created the foundation already, right? Because I have other products, other services. I don't have to be on for one-on-ones all the time. If you want a one-on-one, you can sign up with me. It's on the website, which is RoshidaDowe.com. We haven't talked about that in a while. I haven't updated it in a while. I don't even know what they're saying over there. But if there's any information you want about working with me, you can get it over there. All right. This is where we get to the fun part of a career break. Who do you want to see when you're on your break? Is it nobody? Is it like your cousin who you haven't seen since you were 5? Like, do you want to plan a family reunion? It sounds like work, but like, would that feel really, really good to you because you really love your family? You haven't had a chance to see them in a while because you've been working? Let's pause for a second. Creating a business is not a break. It's not. Love y'all. Mean it. Creating a business is not a break. Creating a hobby where you don't get paid may be a break, but a business is not a break. It's not. You're going to be working. And so creating it and having that foundation really solid before you go on your break is important, right? If you don't mind working, as long as you're not working for somebody else, and that feels restful for you, then sure, create it as you go. But I'm going to tell you, a lot of entrepreneurs go from working 40 hours a week to working 24/7. I was one of those. There was always something I had to do or something I had to think about until I realized none of this stuff mattered and I could just do whatever I wanted. Wendy says, my boss says I can't do Africa next year because I won't have enough PTO. I need to be with my sisters at the meetup. Your boss is just a person. They did not bring you life. They cannot speak into your life. They may not be around next year. Make your plans. Come hang out with us. Your boss's plans? Them bosses love to be haters. Love to be bosses. Those managers. Love to be haters. For why? What'd you get from it? I used to have unlimited PTO, and one day my boss said to me, don't you think you've been on enough vacations? Don't you sound like you're violating my employment contract? Like, isn't my work done? So what are we? This sounds like a limit on my vacations, is what I hear you say. Is that what that is? Don't you think you've had enough vacation? No, that's why I booked that ticket. No, I don't. Hating ass hater. All right, who do you want to see on your vacation? How do you want to feel? This is my favorite questions. How do you want to feel? How do you want to feel when you're on vacation? When you're on your break? Do you want to feel free? Do you want to feel rested? I like feeling, judge all you want. I like feeling rich. And I'm going to explain that to you a little bit. Like on this trip, someone would be like struggling with luggage. And I'm like, there's a man we can pay to do this. And he wants less than he wants like $5 to $10 to move these 6 suitcases, or we can struggle with these 6 suitcases on our own. And she'd be like, well, I'm just going to get this off a train. And I'm like, no, like we're paying him money to do this. Let's let him do the whole thing, right? I'm getting off a train, I'll bring off this one with me. The suitcase weighs 70 pounds. You weigh 70 pounds. Calm down, right? Like chill. We're paying somebody to do that. That's how I want to feel. I want to feel like if there is a way to make it easy on myself, to make my life easier while putting money in somebody else's pocket, who's not like, a terrorist, yes, let's do this. If there's a way to make my life easier that isn't like buying stuff made in a sweatshop, right? Or like consuming things that are bad for the environment, right? Like, yes, this man wants less than $10 to be with us and our luggage for over an hour because we got here early from a train. $10. He's kissing us. He's trying to hug us for $10. Let that man move the luggage. This is how I want to feel like I don't have to. I like that feeling. I like feeling like that. Like, yes, I have the money to pay someone else, so I don't throw my back out. That's how now when I took my career break, I was like, how I would have dragged them suitcases myself everywhere I went on my career break because I was so worried that there was no money coming in, right? So I had to control the money going out. And so, but being cheap with myself cheapened my experience, right? So like not living that like generously fluid, wealthy life made the experiences poor. Because now here I am struggling in the suitcases in the airport, while I also claim I want a life of ease. Because I'm not trying to get a life of ease as much as I'm trying not to spend money. It's hard. Taking a career break is not easy. There's a lot of mental stuff that happens and people don't realize it. You're in your head. You're in your head a lot, thinking about it. Oh, what am I? It's hard. Yvonne says her shoulder still tore up from dragging bags. When I got to Portugal and there was all through Morocco, every place we went, there was a porter. We could find a porter to be like, here's some money, come carry our bags. I went to Portugal and I was like, oh, y'all don't need no money around here? Hey, I got to drag my bags myself? There's nobody for these bags. Okay, but these European airports are civilized. And airports everywhere but America are civilized. So you just go get one of them carts and you cart your own luggage. The US is like, here, this cart's gonna cost you, this airport cart is gonna cost you $20. I'm like, they're free everywhere else. Everywhere else in the world, these carts are free because it doesn't make sense to have people dragging their luggage around and hurting themselves. But in the US, if there's $1 to be made, someone's gonna steal that dollar. Okay, Phyllis. Okay, I see you with your little balcony pic out there over the water. Okay, ma'am. Quit that job. You denying me a vacation? I'm denying you my work, my time, my joy. Having a ball ever since. That's what we need. Oh, they have private concierge service in Portugal. I'm hiring one for my rival. Didn't know that. But when I got there, I was like, who gonna move these back? Little eye twitch. But yes, I want to feel like the things that make my life easy, I can afford to pay for them. That's how I want to feel on my break. How do you want to feel on your break? Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Where do you want to go on your break? Where is it? Is it bed? Is bed where you want to go? Because you don't have to go anywhere. If you don't go anywhere, you might have to set boundaries. You might have to do a better job of setting boundaries, because a lot of times when people don't see you laboring for someone else, they assume your time is available to labor for them. As in, can you watch the kids on this date? I know you're not working. Can you come over and let the man in to do to sew new sheet, whatever, right? Like, can you do this, that? That is the boundary. If you don't go anywhere, you need to be ready to put up those boundaries of, Just because my time is free for me doesn't mean it's free for you. This is me time, not you time. Right? If you want you time, if my time is fully available to you, then the income you make should be for both of us. The income you make should be for both of us if my time is fully free for you. Because me not working means I don't have money coming in. You going to work and having money come in and want the benefit of me being at home to do X, Y, and Z for your household? I twitch. Mm-mm. 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 All right, Tracy wants to feel rested. Tracy A. All right. Okay. Phyllis was in Hawaii for Mother's Day. Love it. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Go nowhere and tell everyone you're leaving. Don't tell them nothing. Anita wants to go back to Italy. I always feel rested, so that's easy for me. Yes, I love going places that make me feel rested. Porto made me feel rested. I can't remember the last. I think Vancouver Island is the place where I feel like Porto, where there's no rush. It's a reasonably easy city. Like where we were staying, we weren't staying in Porto. We're staying in a suburb. Where we were staying was like a 45-minute empty, mostly metro ride into Porto. So like where we were was just on the beach. We just walked on the beach and went and ate seafood. The seafood rice. Pause. Ramble. Start. The seafood rice and the sangria in Portugal were like so good. So good. Also, I had some cherries in Porto. I've never had better cherries in my life. Never in my life have I had better cherries than the ones we just randomly bought off the side of the road in Porto. The flavor that's lacking from the fruit in England is in Portugal. I don't know what they're doing there. I don't know what's happening, but they're taking the fruit flavor from the fruit in England, which is why it tastes like water. This is my science. This is my science. I'm giving you some science today. They're taking somehow, maybe leaching it from the soil. I don't know. I don't have that part down yet. They're taking the fruit flavor from the fruit in England. So they just leave it with like a water taste. And they're concentrating it in the fruit in Portugal. Them cherries in Porto. I'm coming back to Mexico with a list of things I want to make from being here. When I'm in Mexico, I don't think about foods I want to make from Mexico. I'm like, that was nice. I know how to make it there. Now I'm like, I got a list of things. And I've already looked up some recipes. I know how to do this. I know what ingredients I need. Vision. That seafood rice, making it. Making it. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. A vision. Okay. Y'all know I don't like y'all getting on here and talking about hanging out with other people because I get jelly. Because I didn't get to meet Char because she wasn't there when I got there. Blocked. The food was good. It was good. Yes. I don't know what they do in North. Like, truly, I went to Sephora today. And, like, when you know something, but it's just weird to hear it. Like, someone, like, it. But, like, you hear it from someone else, and you're like, yeah, America is crap. I went to Sephora today, and we're talking about, I was telling her the foundations that I have in the U.S., foundations that I have, and, like, telling her what I didn't like about them so that we could figure out what would work for me that they have. And she pretty much cut me off and was like, we don't have your janky formulations because we have strong standards of what needs to be in our makeup. So like, it doesn't matter to me. If you got it in the US, don't talk to me about it. Like, If we got it in the US, we don't have anything comparable here. So I can't really tell you. I can't compare it apples to apples, right? It's potatoes to tomatoes here. It's not, because we have standards and y'all let them do anything. I was like, oh, well, glad we had this chat. Junket, it was Matosinos. I vlogged for you guys in Portugal, and I said Matosinos 1,000 different ways. Mostly Matosonos. I don't know. 1,000 different ways, but that was where we were, and it was really nice. We did not go to Villanova de Gaia. When we got to Porto, everyone was like, you have to go to the wine valley, you have to do this, you have to do that. And we were like, what if we just laid in the house and walked to the beach every once in a while? What if? So we did. It was amazing. Got to go back. Oh, this is why community is important. I met and talked to so many ladies in Morocco who are out here in these international streets. I was so inspired and loved how happy everybody was. Yes. We'd be happy. Happy. Well, I'm telling you, the seafood in Porto, in Matosinhos, the seafood. Sarah, I Googled a seafood rice recipe. I will share it in the YouTube community if I make it and it's good. But otherwise, I just looked up Portuguese seafood rice. Everywhere we had it, we were like, is this the best rice we've ever had? Every time we had it, it was like, ooh, this is good. Every single time. Simi said, I'd like to take another sabbatical in a year or two because I wasted at least one month of a sabbatical worrying about finding another job. Yes. We worried about tomorrow. Focus on today. Live your joy today. Live your joy today. Glass half full wants to be able to pick up and go where I want, when I want, check in with no one, and don't tell anyone if I don't want to. That's the life. Who do you answer to? No one. No one. The seafood rice was like... So Miguel, at one of the restaurants I went to, and we go together now. A seafood rice. Forever. It's not paella. It's much juicier. It's much more liquid than a paella. So we ordered sangria, but like Portuguese sangria is a little different than Spanish sangria, I found out. Or it's supposed to be, or it can be. And then we ordered seafood rice, which not paella. But good. Where do you want to go? Like I said, if you go to bed, that's fine. Who do you want to be on your career break? Who do you want to be? Do you want to be... When I left, when I hit Europe, I was like, I'm a museum girl. Now, I've always been a museum girl. I'm going to all the museums. I'm doing this. Every city I go to, I'm going to a museum. Eventually, I was like, I want to be a girl who is not tired. And going to all these museums, you leave, besides like New York and like LA, maybe San Francisco, a lot of towns in the US might have like one or two museums, like art museums. I'm talking art museums. You go to Europe and each town has like 17 art museums. Each large town has like 17 art museums. Slow down. I can't go to all. I don't have time. Please. So I had to stop being art museum girl and be... I'm a sleep in lady. Okay. Anita is an outside girl who sips wine in the park and people watches. Yes. Now, here's what I want to talk about. Krishan is a museum girl. Janae is a museum girl. Ivana's beach and food. Yes. The reason I want to talk about who you are is because, and this is going to be our secret. Don't tell anyone else. This is, if you're not watching this live, this does not apply to you. I'm kidding. It's just for us. You get to be whoever you want to be. You put that you pack your suitcase, you go somewhere else, you whip your passport out, you go to a city where no one knows you. You could be a priest, you could be a bank robber, who knows? You could be having breakfast at Tiffany's, you could be staying 20 deep in a hostel, right? Like, you get to be whoever you want. You get to be whoever your imagination allows you to conjure up. Whoever your people at home think you are from a lifetime of their observations, right? You don't have to be that person anymore. You don't. You can be whoever you want. Poof Be Gone says she can be Stella getting her groove back. Yes. You can be whoever you want. Whoever. Who do you want to be? And you don't have to be the same person every day. You can be a different person city to city. What supports your lifestyle? Do you want a different lifestyle? Like maybe in one city you're a museum girl. In the next city, you are a party all night girl. I'll never be a party. I can't even pretend to be a party all night girl because when the sun goes down, I am not leaving the house. To go outside in the dark? No. Shan't be me. But some of y'all love it, right? Maybe you're a party girl in one city. Maybe you're someone else. You get to be whatever you want, right? And so maybe as a child, you imagined that you were going to be a painter. Girl, go to one of these cities and go into a museum. Well, don't paint in the museum, but like go paint on a sidewalk somewhere, right? You want to be an artist? You want to draw nude statues? Get you a pencil, a little notebook. Go sit in front of, I don't know, one of these and go draw, get to drawing. Whatever you want to be. Whatever you wanted to be when you were younger, you didn't get an opportunity to because you went straight to work and you've been working for 40 years. Go do that. Go do that. Whatever you want to do. Auntie Lou will be down at the winery. I love it. Wendy wants to be the pina colada girl. Yes, that's what belly buttons are for. Do it. Who do you want to be? How can you support that lifestyle? So think about that when you're thinking about your break, right? Now you don't have to stick. You could start it and be like, I'm going to be learning a new dance in every city I go. What's the local dance? I'm gonna hit the club. If it's salsa, it's salsa. If it's bachata, I'm learning it. Whatever it is it flamenco? Wherever I go, I'm learning the thing. And then maybe like 2 months into it, you're like, these bones hurt. Why would I keep doing this? Don't. What else do you want to do? Be someone new. Decide who you are. Reinvent yourself. It's such a joy. It's such a joy to be like, I have woken up today because I don't have to go to work and see the same people I see every day. I don't have to come home and see them same people I see every day. You get to be whoever you want because nobody knows you. Find joy in that. Find joy in the fact that no one knows you, and so you can be whoever you want. Rebloom Room had a friend who sang her music on the street in France. Scary and exhilarating. Yes. Do it. Halisi took over karaoke night, went out for late night tacos. Now, when they say late night, I think they mean like 2 and 3. 1. Like my late night tacos are definitely wrapping up by 9 o'clock. Definitely like, oh, it's 9:30. Where's the check? The check? Could I get the check? 9:30? Please. Thank you. But that's not what they mean when they say late night. Yes, Cat's gonna be a cougar. Why not? Why not? Right? Live your best life. Child. Be a famous artist that always wears a mask. You figure it out. Like a full mask, or like an eye mask, or like never be seen. Paint your paintings and have an agent who sells, or a manager, someone who sells them for you. So you do the Banksy thing. You know, for a long time, no one knew what he looked like, right? That's you. That's you. Do it. Do it. It's your life. Why not? $10.30 tacos? Absolutely not. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Auntie Lou wants mani pedis, facials, and massages. Yes. It's your life. Who's going to stop you? Who's going to stop you? No one. Get it. It's self-care. And self-care is the best care. All right. Who do you want to be is what I want you guys to think about most when you think about your break. Because I think that if you're unsure of if you're losing some steam, right? If your engine is slowing down, thinking about who you want to be and who you can be on your break might put a little bit more gas in that engine. Also, if you have an anchor, get rid of him. I specifically said him, yes. I should say them. If you have an anchor, unhook from your anchor. You don't need that. Get Your Next 2 Clients Challenge is starting June 4th. I'm opening up my calendar for one-on-one bookings in June. If you want to talk to me one-on-one about getting your life together, moving abroad, taking career breaks, getting your business in order, that kind of stuff. One-on-one. You can find them at RoshidaDowe.com, the link to book. Kat wanted to know how to do the math. So how to do the math is going to differ for everybody because we don't all want the same thing. If you want to move abroad, if you want to take a career break, start looking at the expenses of the cities you're considering in numbeo.com or theearthawaits.com. And that'll give you some idea of what it would cost to spend a month in one of those cities. Add some extra on there. Add some extra to pay for porters. And when you, I forgot to book. I checked out of one Airbnb on the 25th and into the other one on the 26th this week, which meant that I had no Airbnb on the night of the 25th and nowhere to stay. That's going to happen to you. It's just the nature of the beast. Something's going to fall through a crack. Add some extra money on top of that, but not a lot. We're not talking doubling it. I'm talking saying adding 10%, add 15% to the expenses as listed on the Earth Awaits or numbeo.com. If your life goal is being a pilot, look at what pilot schools cost and figure out, do you need to go to pilot school in America, or are there other places you could go to pilot school that are safe and might cost less? Because for a lot of our schooling, that's it. A lot of the schooling that's available to us throughout the world, you can go to another country and get a visa because you get an education, right? Get a qualification that will take you around the world and pay less. I want that for you. So whatever your goal is, hit the Googles. How much does it cost to, right? You're going to see some people on there saying, the cost to retire is Money managers do this all the time. People who want to invest your money and don't want you to stop working so that they have more money of yours to invest and get more fees from. You'll see if the question is how much does it cost to retire early? Let's Google this. It's going to be some super number. If it's coming from like a money manager. So pay attention to who is saying it and what their motivations could be for why they're coming up with that number. Okay, so I just wrote how much does it cost to retire early? Oh, let me add the US. Okay, the Times actually, they're doing just a fire calculation. Okay, all right, that's not bad. Will give me US, UK numbers in pounds, and I don't want that. Okay, so they're giving you the rule of 25 at first. Is 5 million enough to retire early? You should be able to retire at 45 without any worries. And I'm like, at 5 million, I would retire at 12. Is it just me? Is it just me? Because, all right. Yes, I still have things in my suitcase. I've been gone I'm wrapping up week 8, and I have things I haven't worn yet. Now, a lot of it was the weather. Like we went through 3 different climates, so it's hard to know what we're gonna need. Excuse me. But I always bring workout clothes. I never work out. At 10 million? And that's what, okay, so people like Susie Orman, who I used to love, saying you need $10 million makes it feel so unreachable for such a large number of people. Instead of giving people hope, I think it dashes their hope. It feels like, oh, I'll never get there. $10 million? Where would I get $10 million from? Is there a bank? What are we doing? Well, what's your motivation behind saying that? For a month of travel, I'm bringing enough clothes for 5 days. That is smart. Almost everywhere we've stayed has had a washing machine, so I haven't run out of anything. I've always had socks, underwear. I brought 4 washcloths with me. I've always had one available. By the way, if you're leaving the US and hotels in the US, bring a washcloth with you. Because this place is still. I told y'all in Morocco I didn't have a sheet, right? No kind of wash rag in the shower. I didn't have a sheet. Multiple trucks, right? Like knocking on Fort Knox's door and saying, hey y'all, hey girl, can I get some of that? Okay, I think we've done it. Who feels more confident today, right now, than they did in the start of the video for their career break? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you do. Tell me. Because truly, we haven't talked about much substance here. We've talked a lot about mindset because most of it is mindset. Most of it is just believing that you can do it. So I'm trying to tell you guys, you can do it. Like the planning is truly the easy part. You're going to mess it up every once in a while, right? Like I didn't have a place to stay for a night. I'll survive. It's okay. Nothing's going to be perfect. You're going to make a mistake. You mean a flashlight poof be gone? Mm. All right. One of the things I want to talk about like the numbers we talk about, especially if you are a single woman that doesn't have children, if something happens to you tomorrow, right? You saved all this money and where is it going? You worked so hard in your life to get to the 1 million, the 10 million, or 500,000, the 25,000, whatever it is, right? Like if you're killing yourself to make more money than you actually need in this present moment, in the next year, in the next 2 years, if you're killing yourself today to make more and you already have enough money to live on the next 5 years, why do you think you're going to be around for the 5 years after that to spend it? Why? Right? Like it's like my Vanguard hit me up the other day and was like, please confirm your beneficiaries on your account. And I was like, I mean, I don't want to take it with me, but I want to spend it. My mom all the time is like, I'm trying to spend it all. All the time. She's like, I'm trying to spend, if I got a dime, I'm trying to spend it. And I get it. I get it. Right? Like, especially if you, like, she has children, whatever. But especially if you don't have children, what is the goal behind these big numbers? Right? And even if you have children, I do believe, like, I'm not a parent. So me saying I believe that like leaving something for your kids can be very valuable doesn't have much value because I don't have kids. But I know a lot of parents who are like super stressed, working themselves to the bone to make sure their kids have a better life, to make sure they have everything. And I'm like, if you have a heart attack, what does your kid have? Insurance money? Like, is that what you want to leave? Like, what are we doing here? How are we put on your oxygen mask first? Put it on. It's time. It's time to put on your oxygen mask first. And that's what so many of us don't do, especially as Black women. We don't take care of ourselves first. We're so used to being expected to take care of other people. Expected to take care of other people. We're expected to put ourselves last. And it's like, how much of that can you do before there's nothing left for you? Every year I try to like make sure my investments are larger than last year, but like for why? Why am I not spending more money? Why am I not? Which is why I was like, first class flights. Because what else is this money gonna do? What else is this money gonna do? If I don't spend it, and something happens to me, I didn't spend it, and not that somebody else getting it is a bad thing, but like I work for it. I want to spend it. I want to feel wealthy with my money. What is the point of having the money if I don't feel ease, if I don't feel wealth, if I don't feel like I am spending it on me in this moment instead of worrying about what's going to happen 20 years from now, which is what so many of us do. Health insurance costs are going up, so I need to save for, okay, but like that means you're living a more stressful life. Like you're not spending money for more ease today. You're spending money on healthcare expenses. You're planning for healthcare expenses in the future because you're not living an easy life today. If you live an easy life today, you might have less healthcare expenses in the future. Work with me on this. Today, we spending money today. Go spend some money on yourself today. I bought makeup. 2 different colors on my face right now. Down the middle. Bought a new lippy yesterday. Do it. Yes, after Dr. Crystal, if giving the money away brings you joy, give it away, right? Give it away, but don't hold on to it. Let me say out your kids' business. Passing down wealth and generational wealth. Look, I think the conversation about generational wealth in the Black community has taken a turn that seems odd, right? Like, yes, your kids probably would love a lot of money, but they'd probably love a lot of attention too. And the people I talk about like what they have to do or what they plan on doing to make generational wealth sounds like your kids could use a hug. I'm so sorry. Right? Like I get where you're going with that, but it sounds like you're working yourself 24/7, which means you're not a nice, relaxed, present parent, probably. And that's probably, your kids probably want that more than they want like another $100 or another $1,000 20 years from now, right? Any hoodle. Let me get out them parents' business because it's not mine. It's not my business. All right, friends. I'm getting out of here. Spend your money. Spend your money. Abba suffered bad from adrenal burnout. Okay, friends. Until next time, thank you for hanging out with me. I think it's wine time where you are. Go handle that. I'll talk to you later. From burnouttobliss.co, get your next 2 clients challenge. Truly will make a difference if you want your business to bring in money. If it's already bringing in money and you want more clients, it's the way to go. Ladies in the comments told you that. You can get it in the Facebook group for Exodus Summit, the main Facebook group. And wishing you all the best. I go home on Tuesday after 8 weeks in the streets. I'm actually looking forward to it. London's nice. The weather's beautiful. It's been nice, but like my bed misses me. My couch is like, girl, where you been? Get that shush over here. Let's rub it. My couch wants me to get comfortable. Alas, I'm on a foreign lady's couch, which is shaped a lot like mine. It's not as comfortable though. My bed. Anyway, headed back to my bed soon. Hope you guys are doing well. I will see you guys next Sunday.